What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Budget Deck Tech. Today we're going to be looking at the Sarkhan Dragonsoul Planeswalker deck. In this series I buy a Planeswalker deck and see what kind of improvements I can make to it by spending just 10 Canadian dollars. The rules are fairly simple. I've got to end up with a standard legal 60 card deck, and any cards that I do add have to be from the current set. This Planeswalker deck starts out fairly tame. You've got a decent amount of direct damage spells, you've got some dragons, you've also got quite a few useless small creatures in my opinion. I really wanted to build this deck around our Planeswalker's abilities, so I'm going to be filling it with dragons. The one big disadvantage of the dragons is their high casting cost. So this is going to be a fairly slow deck to start, and we're going to need to leave some of that direct damage in the deck so that we can take care of any threats early in the game. This ends up being a fairly basic deck, and it's probably good for a beginner player. Let's go ahead and start with 25 mountains. So we need a fairly high amount of land in this deck just so that we can get those dragons out sooner. We'll be leaving Sarkhan in the deck. So this guy can deal direct damage, he can summon dragons, he's a perfect fit for this deck. The first card we're purchasing is also going to be the most expensive one. Lathliss the Dragon Queen is a 6/6 flying dragon, goes for $2 a piece, and we're adding 3 copies to the deck. This is a legendary creature, so we can only have 1 copy out at a time, but it has a really great ability where if it's in play, every time you summon a dragon, you get to put a 5/5 dragon creature token into play. So as soon as we have 6 mana, we want to get this guy out there, and then every dragon we cast essentially counts as 2 dragons. We'll be leaving in the 1 copy of Demanding Dragon. This is a 5/5 flying dragon for 5 mana, and when it comes into play, unless your opponent sacrifices a creature, you get to deal 5 damage to them. Next up is a full playset of Sparktongue Dragon. This one's a 3/3 flyer for 5 mana. The original deck came with 2 copies, and we'll be buying 2 more at 15 cents a piece. This is one of the weaker dragons in the deck, and its casting cost is kinda high for what it is, so if you do have a bit of extra money, this is probably one of the cards you want to upgrade further. We're doing a full playset of Volcano Dragon. This is a 4/4 flying for 6 mana, so the original deck came with 2, we're adding 2 more at 25 cents each. Next up is Sarkhan Whelp. This is one of the cards that's exclusive to the Planeswalker deck. You get 3 of these in the original deck, and we'll be leaving all 3 of them in our deck. This card ends up being our cheapest dragon to cast in the deck at 3 mana, and if at all possible, you want to save this guy for once you have Lathliss out there, just so that you do get that 5/5 token along with this 2/2 creature. And our last dragon in the deck is the Shavon Dragon. So this is a pretty classic dragon. It's a 5/5 flyer for 6 mana, and you also have the option of pumping its offense. The original deck came with 1 copy, and we'll be leaving that card in our finished deck. The only non-dragon creature we're adding to the deck is Dragon Egg. So we're adding a full playset at $1. This card starts out as a 0/2 blocker for us, and as soon as it dies, it will turn into a 2/2 dragon creature with flying. We'll be adding a full playset of Lightning Strike to the deck. So the original deck came with 2 copies of this one, we're buying 2 more at 25 cents each. This is a pretty straightforward card. We're basically going to use it to take out any threats early game. Same idea with Electrify. This card does a little bit more damage, but we'll add a full playset of these as well. 2 of these came in the original deck, and then we're adding 2 more at 15 cents a piece. We're going to buy 2 copies of Smelt to add to the deck at 15 cents each. So this is a really cheap instant just to cast to get rid of any artifact that we don't want out there. And then we're going to add 2 copies of Sure Strike at 15 cents each. So this is another instant that hopefully will help us win a few battles by giving our creatures a boost in offense and first strike. And last but not least, we are adding 2 copies of Arcane Encyclopedia. So this card goes for 25 cents each, and it is probably one of my favorite artifacts in this set. It just lets you use your extra mana to draw more cards. And there we have it. So that is 60 cards and just under $10 spent. So definitely a slow deck to start out, but if you can get some of those dragons out there, you definitely have a shot to win it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you guys next time.